Hello, everybody. It's me, Patrick, and I'm back here with something that I think really needs to be addressed. What I'm talking about specifically is this mailing here that I received from Charles Schwab. As most of you probably don't know, I currently have an investor's account open with Charles Schwab. I have some stocks for investing. It's really not a lot. I own like one share of AT&T, but as you can see, I received this in the mail. Obviously, scratched out my address for privacy reasons, but what's important is this: your vote counts. So the 2024 annual meeting for decisions for shareholders is on May 16th, but you can vote by May 15th, 2024 by 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. So I am in Eastern Time right now in New Jersey, and there's all sorts of info on the other side of this letter. On the one side, I have it folded over, but it says, "You invested in AT&T Inc. and it's time to vote. You have the right to vote on proposals being presented at the annual meeting. This is an important notice regarding the availability of proxy materials for the stockholder meeting to be held on May 16th, 2024. So, I own one share of AT&T, and they're going to have me vote on their decision meetings. I mean, keep in mind here, AT&T stock costs less than $100 per share right now. I don't know the exact numbers. I haven't logged into my account in a while. But it also says, get informed before you vote. View the proxy statement and annual report online, or you can receive a free paper or email copy of the materials by requesting prior to May 2nd, 2024. And then these are all the ways that you can request that information. And then obviously, here's a control number for voting. I already did it, so it doesn't really matter anymore. And then you can obviously use your QR code here if you have a smartphone, or as I said, you can vote at this meeting on May 16th at 3:30 p.m. Central Time, which I really don't know how many shareholders are going to show up to. But if I go ahead and unfold this paper and flip it over, here we go. So this is not a votable ballot. This is an overview of the proposals being presented at the upcoming stockholder meeting. Please follow the instructions on the reverse side to vote on these important matters. So obviously, it's not like you're mailing this in or anything. And again, that notice about when you got to vote, unless you do it at the meeting. And this is being done on proxyvote.com. So let's look at some of the voting items that they have here. So they're electing a whole bunch of directors. I already looked some of them up. They definitely pick people who have experience, who work for other companies, like Scott T. Ford. He is currently working for a coffee company. For example, I'm not going to go through all these people here on the ballot, but if you want to look them up yourself, go ahead. But then after we get through all these director votes, all the people that are going to get put on as directors, then we get into the ratification of the appointment of Ernst & Young LLP as independent auditors. So that's dealing with your people who actually take a look at the company, your advisory approval of executive compensation, paying people, more than they already have, and other sort of bonuses and such. An independent board chairman, having somebody that's independent as the chairman of the board. Improve clawback policy for unearned pay for each NEO, and then report on respecting workforce civil liberties. So those are the non-voting for director items. And if you go over here, these are the board recommendations. This is how they recommend you vote. So obviously, as you can see, they're voting for all the people that are on this ballot for directors and such. And we get down here, up until the independent board chairman, they're voting yes for all of that. And then you get to these last three items, and you see they recommend that you vote against them. So that includes the independent board chairman, the improved clawback policy for unearned pay for each NEO, and the report on respecting workforce civil liberties, having to, publish reports about that. As you know, every company is legally required to comply with anti-discrimination laws, and there are limits to what they can restrict in regards to civil liberties and such, specifically free speech. But, these are big company decisions here. And I'm going to be real here. I'm only one voter. I don't really have a lot of power in this. And most voters don't anyway. Because at the end of the day, the board is really making the final say on this. But my big question is, why are they coming to the shareholders to make decisions when they know that unless we are the kind of shareholders that own a lot of stocks in a corporation, we don't really have any power? And by the way, I have a voting stock with them. I think that's the default on Charles Schwab. I didn't see anything about that, but there are non-voting stocks as well that you can buy from companies. But my other big question is, did they ever ask the customers on the receiving end what they think of these decisions? Because at the end of the day, whatever they do is going to impact the customers just as much as the shareholders. I mean, we might make or lose money, but whatever they decide to do will impact the product that the customer receives and ultimately whether they're going to keep them or not. So who do you think should be making the decisions? The shareholders, the board, or the customers, or all three in an equal share of decision making? Thank you for watching. Please let me know what your opinions are if you'd like to. Leave them in the comments section. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day.